This here is Boom Studios' 2020 Free Comic Book Day special, Power Rangers The Road to Ranger Slayer, which was delayed by the coronavirus pandemic. This comic consists of 3 parts. First is The Road to Ranger Slayer. This is actually made up of old content from Go-Go Power Rangers issues 9 to 12, so I'll be skipping over those to avoid repeating myself. The second part is A Promise to Keep. This is also old content because it's a short story from the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Shattered Grid Deluxe Edition. And the third is actually just a 1-page preview for the Ranger Slayer one-shot. So, first of all, we all know by now that in an alternate universe, Tommy became Lord Drakon and stole the power coins from the other Rangers. The surviving Rangers formed a rebellion called the Coinless. Looking back at this old artwork makes me miss the art style from the early issues of the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers comics. Anyway, skipping ahead, the Road to Ranger Slayer ends with Drakon putting a mind control spell on Kimberly, and she becomes his puppet, the Ranger Slayer. That's the Go-Go Power Ranger stuff over, and we move on to A Promise to Keep. So, after Kimberly went to seek out Lord Drakon on her own, she's been missing for a while, and Bulk thinks that Kimberly is dead based on their recent luck. But then, Kimberly walks in and says to Bulk that there are worse things than death. Bulk is surprised to see her alive and embraces her. He asks if she was able to kill Drakon, but then Bulk notices something. Kimberly is now bearing her bow of darkness, something she didn't have before. And so Bulk realizes there's something wrong and tells everybody to run. Kimberly cuts the end of Bulk's gun off and then pins him against the wall with her sharp bow. She asks Bulk for Trini's location. A voice calls out to Kimberly telling her to let Bulk go, and it is in fact Trini herself. She's already figured out that Kimberly has been brainwashed by Drakon. Trini tells Bulk to get everybody away, but Kimberly tells them that the place is entirely surrounded, so if anyone tries to leave, the Coinless will end up the Headless. Everyone would be free to go if Trini just surrenders herself. Trini starts to consider this option, but Bulk won't have any of it and starts charging towards Kimberly. However, Trini hits Bulk to halt his charge, and she points her gun at Bulk, telling him that she's in charge and if he touches Kimberly, she'll put a hole in his head. Trini asks Bulk if he understands. He says yes and leaves. Kimberly notes that Trini has finally started to toughen up, but Trini tells her to shut up, as she hasn't actually agreed to anything yet. She has demands. Kimberly tells her there is no negotiating though. She's only there because Drakon thinks keeping Trini alive will end the war sooner. Trini tries to snap Kimberly out of Drakon's mind control by telling Kimberly to fight it. Kimberly, however, gives Trini one last chance. Either Trini drops her weapon and walks out with Kimberly, or she'll find Ernie at the Basin refugee camp and she'll burn it all to the ground. Then, she'll track Aisha and Zack down and torture both of them for fun. Trini is then riled up and she engages in combat with Kimberly. Kimberly takes a shot at Trini with her bow, but she's too late and also too slow as Trini knocks Kimberly in the face with her gun. Bulk returns and tells Trini that they need to go despite Trini telling Bulk that he shouldn't have gone back for her. Kimberly tells Trini to kill her, but Trini points the gun away from Kimberly's face and she shoots some canisters instead. Suddenly, there's an explosion and Bulk and Trini make a run for it. So that's how Trini and Bulk manage to escape from Kimberly. Drakon's sentries approach Kimberly and she asks them how many prisoners were they able to terminate in their escape attempt. It turned out that there was a log intake tunnel hidden in the south wall, so everyone escaped. That's when Kimberly realizes that Trini was stalling when she said to Bulk, "a hole in your head." Kimberly says they need to hunt all of the Coinless down, but she needs her power coin back. So, turned out that Kimberly wasn't immediately given her power coin back when she became the Ranger Slayer. She went into this mission without it first. Finally, we come to the last page, Ranger Slayer. This is just the first page of the one-shot. Kimberly arrives back in her home world after stepping through the Master Arch at the end of Mighty Morphin Power Rangers issue number 50. And that's it really. There's not really much I can say about this. It's just collected some old Ranger Slayer stories together, as well as one page of the Ranger Slayer one-shot. If it wasn't for the coronavirus pandemic, then it probably would have been a nice build-up to the Ranger Slayer one-shot. but because of the delays in the supply chain, I ended up getting this special after receiving the Power Rangers Ranger Slayer one-shot. So did we need this from Boom Studios? For people relatively new to the Power Rangers comics, then probably yes. This is a good starting point to get to know who the Ranger Slayer is, and how this will lead into the New Dawn limited series. It's also just good for the Ranger Slayer and Kimberly fans out there. Otherwise, this is largely unnecessary. If you've read all of Go-Go Power Rangers and have the Mighty Morphin Power Rangers Shattered Grid Deluxe Edition, then you'd have seen all this already.